Today we're going to talk about the things we loved about the record stores that we visited so far on this channel. And combined, all these things would make perhaps our perfect record store. So, grab a drink, get comfortable, and let's build the perfect record store. So, let's get started. We've got 19 record stores to get through. That's right, 19. First in the list is Music for the Soul in Urmston.
So our extensive budget has allowed us to come outside with our large recording mobile team. That's Gary on the other side of the road, avoiding imminent death. Because what we want to do is to highlight local record stores. What we may always make a big effort to do is to shop at independent record stores. They find it really hard at the moment to survive. And so we thought it would be really nice if we could spend a moment or two each time just highlighting some of those stores that we love to shop at. And here we are on Urmston High Street with the first one, the legendary Dave's Music for the Soul Records.
Now, this is my local record store and I've been visiting it for quite some time. One of the things I really look for when buying records, particularly vinyl, is the condition. And it's not that easy to check in the store that everything's kind of fine with your vinyl. But everything that I bought from this shop has been in great condition. And if something isn't perfect, there's always a clear note on the front pointing it out. So my chosen feature here is condition. Next up, it's Reel Around the Fountain in Stretford.
It really is time to tell the tale of this jewel in the crown of Stretford Mall. Reel Around the Fountain. Stretford Mall, Stretford, Greater Manchester.
This is another local favourite of mine. It's a bit of a hidden gem. And I am partial to the odd piece of high quality audiophile vinyl. Yeah. And I don't see it for sale at many record stores. And it's very expensive to buy online. But at Reel Around the Fountain, there is a small selection of it in a dedicated rack. And it's really, really competitively priced. So my chosen feature here is it's a selection of audiophile vinyl. Next up, it's King B Records in Chorlton.
But if you do come to Chorlton, not just to look at the beards and the bobble hats, hopefully you come and visit King B Records. It's been here since the late 1980s, and although small, has a wonderful and quite esoteric collection of used and some new records as well.
Now this place is something of a local legend, like several others on the list, and it's been around since 1987 and was my go-to shop when I was a student living in Chorlton. Like most people, I can't resist a good bargain, and this store just has a knack for offering them tucked away amongst the rest of the stock. So the standout feature for me, the chance to find a great bargain. Next up, it's Tasty Records in Altrincham.
Could you just tell us a little bit about Tasty Records?
So we're a small independent record shop in Altrincham, like you say, in South Greater Manchester. We do brand new, we do second-hand, pre-loved stuff, loads of LPs, some singles downstairs down there, tapes, if anyone interested in tapes around here, but mainly, brand new, well curated, brand new, pre-loved LPs. Trying to cater to all genres. So our biggest genres are probably like classic rock, indie alternative, but electronic music.
Now, like a few of the other places on the list, it's a pretty small shop, but that actually adds to the charm. The compact space seems to encourage a bit of banter with customers and the person behind the counter, and it make it easier to chat. And as you see in the episode, we did have a good chat. So what stood out most for me, the size of the shop was perfect for good conversation. Next up is Jacaranda Record Store in Liverpool.
So we're upstairs here in Jacaranda Records. I'm delighted to say that I'm joined by Mia. Yes, Mia. Nice to meet you. Thanks so much for spending the time talking to us today. So we want to find out a little bit about the store here and the pub and a bit about the history and what people are interested in here as well. So can you tell me a little bit about Jacaranda Records? How long has it been here?
I think so. Jacaranda Records opened in 2015, so we've been going for 9 years.
Now, this is located inside the iconic Jacaranda music venue. It's a great spot. While we were filming in Liverpool, we caught up with Mina at Jacaranda Records, and she was telling us about something called the Dinkt Collective, which their store is part of. And this is a small group of independent record shops that work together to promote music by releasing special limited edition vinyl known as Dinkt releases. And these come with cool extras like bonus tracks, signed inserts and artwork and so on. Anyway, I really love the idea, and if I could design my ideal record store, it would definitely be part of the Dinkt Collective. Next up is Dig Records in Liverpool.
Well, we're here outside Resurrection Clothes Shop in Liverpool city centre. Neil and I haven't come to buy matching retro shell suits. We've instead come to see Dig Vinyl, which is located right above Resurrection in Liverpool city centre. Let's go and have a look inside.
Now, this gem is located on Bold Street in Liverpool, or as Neil called it in the episode, bustling Bold Street. And that description really fits. What stood out for me was how it felt like part of a larger retail community. The record store itself is actually tucked inside a clothing shop called Resurrection, with a barber shop right next door to it, all under the same roof. And that close-knit setup gave the whole place a great vibe. So what I really loved, it's not just a record store, it's part of a lively little ecosystem of local businesses. And next up, it's Probe Records in Liverpool.
I just wonder, Bob, if you just kick off by saying a little bit about Probe, and it's one of the most historic, legendary record shops.
Well, you just said it. What can I add to that? Yeah.
So when was it first opened?
Like in 71.
Crikey. And you were
It was before, mate.
your time. Yeah.
So Probe Records is an absolute institution in the city's music scene. And as you will see in the episode we did on Probe, this place has a rich history dating back to the 70s, and it's been a real hub for music lovers, and even launched the careers of a few well-known names that actually worked in the store. So there's a real aura about the shop, and I think that's what makes it stand out for me. Its connection to the city's musical past. Yeah, so for me, its standout feature is that powerful link to music history. Next up, it's Lizard Records in Warrington.
Well, here we are in Lizard Records in Warrington. I'm joined by Steve. I asked Lizard Records, and Steve, I'm agreed to have a quick chat with us. Hi, Steve. How are you doing?
I'm great. How are you?
Good, thank you.
Yeah, I've been here for a while.
It was cold day. So I was wondering if you could just tell us about how you started the store and how long it's been going for.
Yeah, Lizard Records. Nestled right in the heart of the town centre, and what immediately caught our attention was the store's distinctive decoration. It's pretty quirky and characterful and has a certain vibe about it. So for me, it's vibe. The store had great vibe. Next up, we have a trio of record stores from Neil's trip to Hamburg.
I'm outside Groove City Records. Now, so here I am outside Zardoz Records, which is in the St. Pauli district of Hamburg. Okay, so here I am at Black Records in St. Pauli district, and I'm here with the owner, Steve. Nice to meet you, Steve.
Nice to meet you, Neil.
Nice to meet you. Thank you very much. Thank you very much for talking to us this afternoon.
Now, I haven't been to Hamburg myself, but Neil had a chance to visit a few record stores there, and it really stood out to me as a city with quite a vibrant vinyl culture. And from what I saw, Hamburg itself looks like a beautiful place. And what's especially appealing is how many great record shops there are clustered together in a small area. And that's something I really like when record stores aren't necessarily competing with each other, but coexisting, offering their own thing, but still part of a close-knit musical community. So that's what I liked about these stores, part of a music community. Next on the list is All Night Flight Records in Stockport.
We're outside All Night Flight Records in Stockport. It's an independent record store. Neil and I have just been in and made a couple of purchases and had a good chat with the owner, Tom, who's been running the store for about 5 years now. Started in his bedroom selling records online and still does. But this is an amazing little store, probably on the left field of music, quite experimental, electronic.
Now, the approach to curation in this shop is incredible. And what really struck me the most was the care and attention that goes into every single record on the shelves. The owner writes personal hand pen notes for each of them. They just feel like they're written by someone who really loves the music. And that level of detail gives the shop almost a unique, almost gallery-like feel to it. So the feature for me is personal write-ups. Next up was Rubber Soul Records in Stoke.
See right behind me, we've got a Rubber Soul Records, and this is a vinyl shop like no other. As you can see by the photos I took inside, this isn't a vinyl shop where you're going to find everything categorized.
This was definitely one of the more disorganized stores I've visited, but sometimes a bit of disorganization can be part of the charm. And this shop takes crate digging to the next level. However, I do like the thrill of the hunt and not knowing quite what you're going to stumble across. So, although my perfect record store perhaps wouldn't take it to the extreme level that I saw in Rubber Soul, I think I'd like a small part of the shop to be a bit less polished, somewhere where people like me can enjoy a bit of a rummage, yeah. So just a little bit unpredictable. Next up was Vinyl Fetishes in Manchester.
So here we are in, I think it's an incredible setting at Vinyl Fetishes Records. So I've never been anywhere like this. It's a treasure trove of great records in a sort of amazing container as well. But I'm here with the owners, with Glenn and Sash, and nice to see you. Good afternoon. Nice to meet you. How are you? And I think just it'd be really interesting to kick off, just tell us a little bit about the store and how it's set up.
So like a number of stores on the list, the store location is really quite different, to say the least. It's particularly quirky, and I suggest you watch the episode. But what I liked the most was the commitment by the owners to create a, if you like, a non-judgmental environment. The store's focus was very much on pop, dance, R&B, but combined it with a really open and welcoming attitude that really stood out to us. So my perfect store would also be about building a community where everyone feels at home. Next up was Rubber Ducky Records in Manchester.
So yeah, it's a very nice place to listen to music here.
Sound system's brilliant.
I know.
So this was another gem tucked away in a very quirky location, and another shop that has a clear identity, specialising in a particular genre and doing it really well. What made it stand out for me though was the listening setup. And for me, a perfect record store isn't just about what's for sale, it's about the whole experience. There should be somewhere to actually listen to the music, whether it's vinyl or CDs or even cassettes, if that's your thing. But more than that, it needs to sound great. And the system at Rubber Ducky really delivered. Surprisingly high quality, especially given how compact the shop is. There's a demo on the episode if you haven't watched it already, but yeah, great sound system is the feature here. Next up was AAA Vinyl Coffee House and Bar in Harrogate.
Well, I've just enjoyed a lovely flat white inside AAA and had a good chat with the manager, Chris. He tells me the store's been here for about the year and a half, and it's a bit of a mixture of things, diversified like a lot of the places we visit.
Now, this shop had a real laid-back feel about it. Great coffee and a real community feel to it. Although I wouldn't say it's an out-and-out record store, it did have a standout feature, their jukebox app. So you could use your mobile phone to pick a song you want to hear in their in-store sound system while you relax with a drink and browse through the vinyl. It's quite a simple idea, and I really like how it's brought the jukebox, if you like, into the modern age, and combine it with drinks and vinyl worked really well. Yeah, so some kind of jukebox would be great. Byrdland Records in Washington, DC.
So delighted that, I wish say it's our afternoon, it's about 10 o'clock UK time, but it's about 5 o'clock Eastern Standard Time US, that we've got our first ever transatlantic episode, as Gary said earlier. I'm delighted that Alicia and Joe from Byrdland Records in Washington, DC have joined us. It's not as though we've got a massive transatlantic reach, I wish, but we came across this store because my wife went on a school trip to Washington a few weeks ago, popped into this fantastic store, bought this album, Leigh. She also brought from various places a presidential ruler, an American president's playing cards.
Although Neil and I haven't visited the store, we could get a really good feel for the business when we spoke online to the owners. And what really impressed me was how well it linked up with their separate event space. So you can browse their great selection of vinyl during the day, and then just around the corner you can catch live music in the evening. It feels like quite a connected experience where you can discover something new in the shop, then maybe go hear it live that same night. So that kind of setup creates a proper music community vibe. Yeah, so my perfect store would have some kind of connected event space to it. Next up, it's Wax and Beans in Bury.
So one of the things we've really loved doing as part of our Four Tracks Good YouTube channel is visiting some really interesting and terrific record stores across the Northwest, and as well as seeing different ranges of records and styles. We've met some great people as well around these stores, really passionate individuals and teams, and I'm delighted that today we're here on a beautiful berry day, Wax and Beans. Here we are upstairs with Ben and Steve. Nice to meet you.
So Wax and Beans, it's a shop that really stood out to us for its innovation. There's a lot to talk about here, and a lot of the features I've already mentioned in my ideal record store can be found here. But there's one thing I haven't talked about yet, and you know that Neil and I love coffee. And as the name suggests, Wax and Beans does it right. Great coffee, good food as well, and it's all wrapped up in a space that still feels much like a proper record store. So I'd certainly like the option of buying a great coffee in my perfect record store. And finally, for now, we made our way to Sticky Black Tarmac in Leigh.
It's a great store you've got here, and in a very, very interesting setting as well you've got. So yeah, we're going to find out all about Sticky Black Tarmac Records, which you've owned here for a few years. And just to kick us off with, I'm really interested in how you came to find music. Just find out a bit about yourself, really.
Now, when I go record shopping, I rarely have a specific record in mind that I want to buy. I tend to just browse, and if something catches my eye, I'll just go for it. Sometimes I like to just even take a punt on something I've never heard before, or just vaguely know. But what makes Sticky Black Tarmac really special is that Brandon, the owner, has a real knack for recommendations. You'll see that on the episode we did. He just seems to know what you're looking for, even if you're not sure yourself. So you can take a bit of a gamble based on his advice and can be relatively confident that it will pay off. So in my dream record store, there'd always be someone like that. Someone who knows their stuff and ideally shares your taste in music, but hey, you can't have everything. Yeah, so recommendations. Well, that's it for this episode. So we've pieced together what our dream record store might look like. But it's still very much work in progress. Neil and I have plenty more shops to explore, and I've no doubt we'll discover even more features that belong in our ultimate record store. But if you've got any recommendations of where to visit, especially places in the northwest of England, then we'd love to hear from you. So drop your suggestions in the comments and we'll see what we can do. And if you haven't already, please consider subscribing to the channel. It really helps us keep going. Anyway, thanks for watching.
Discovery Houston, press.